Now we're looking at the Hercules. I do a lot of damage. I'm quite fed, so I'm going to continue to fight him. He's even in his empowered state. I don't think he's going to be much of an issue, especially considering I can use my ultimate such as so and get that kill as well. Now I'm not going to completely give up here. I'm going to try to kill her with my dagger into a stun, and then finally a couple more auto attacks or maybe a jump will allow me to kill her as well for that easy double kill again on a character like Holly, especially when you have a lead like I do. I'm going to go ahead and engage on him, but again, pushing me back like that is actually really powerful. I might have to end up using the ult here, but I'm going to attempt to dodge a couple of his attacks first and hold off on the ultimate. I'll take this wind sprite to gain some damage. I have every intention of going back on him. I just need him to jump. After the jump is down, I can cast the ultimate to be immune, stun him. A couple of auto attacks will lead to his death, and then I'm able to easily teleport over back to the solo lane. Hello, hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm bringing you some Kali gameplay. Kali has just recently been released into the Battleground of the Gods, and I couldn't be more excited. Kali wasn't one of my mains, like my main mains in Smite 1. She was definitely one of my most played assassins, and I'm super excited to try her out this game. Now when released, actually I should rather mention that the build is at the start of the video in the form of a screenshot, or it's up on your screen now on the very top. But I should probably mention that there are a couple builds you can go with this character. You can go like strength focus, you can go attack speed focus, which is what we're going for right now. You can go critical strike chance focus, you can go intelligence. The options are endless as I'm going to engage onto this enemy Kali, hit her with a stun. Actually, we hit each other with a stun, but I will be able to kill her with a couple of subsequent auto attacks, making the use of the Sunder. And we'll be able to pick up that kill. I think it's a worthwhile trade to end up killing her, even if it means we give up the camp. Especially considering that as of this patch, we actually gain a pretty large, lump sum of gold for getting first blood. Earlier in the month, they had like removed that, or it might have been last month. And now we finally added it back, which again is super good. I mean, getting first blood should be a big achievement. So it's good that we get that large lump sum of gold again. I have like a billion things to talk about this game, if I'm being completely honest. I want to talk about a couple of things. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about Kali, how to jungle with her, how to play jungle in general. I want to cover some of the changes that Kali has seen, from her, or rather in her transition from Smite 1 to 2. I want to talk pretty in-depth over the build, and then also some alternate build paths. There's a lot to talk about. This isn't, however, going to be like a complete Kali guide. That's going to be either tomorrow or the days after's video as we look into ganking this enemy Poseidon. We'll be able to do quite a lot of damage and only a couple more auto attacks to go, and we'll be able to pick up that kill, easy kill on the Poseidon. And then I'll start looking into a rotation over to the right side of the map. Hope that the Artemis can live for a little bit longer, that of which she cannot, so we'll just continue farming. 2-0, not a bad start at all on the Kali. But yeah, like I mentioned, there's going to be a guide video on the Kali soon for those of you that are not sure how to play her. Even if you played Smite 1 with all the changes that she has and all the different build routes that she has now, it might still be smart to kind of stay tuned for that video. Now, another kill on the Poseidon would be very funny indeed, and probably put him far enough in the ground where I really don't have to ever think about mid lane for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to kill him here, miss a couple of auto attacks, a lot of auto attacks, but continue to pursue him nonetheless. I'm going to hit him with the second ability and start drilling him with auto attacks. I do have the ult for extra DPS if need be. I'm going to jump for a little bit extra DPS and to avoid some damage. Using the ultimate, I'm going to be able to get him killed, but also die to the Kali in the process. And she does get a little bit of shutdown gold for that, which is unfortunate. Alrighty, so her passive remains pretty much the same. You can use the interact button in the fountain to change your mark target, which was before you had to die to change your target. Actually, I think they changed that later on in Smite 2's development. Actually, maybe another kill on the Poseidon. Why not? I don't think his Kraken is too much of an issue here, and I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage now that I have my Dagger of Frenzy. A couple auto attacks, my second ability, and we'll be able to kill him pretty easily with the help of the Agni. And Agni just barely survived, which is nice as well. But yeah, the passive stays pretty much the same, so there's nothing to talk about that. Nimble Strike also remains pretty much unchanged, only scaling off of strength. The second ability is where we start to see some of the changes. It feels quite smooth, maybe even better than Smite 1 if I'm being completely honest. She's going to go ahead and hit me with the stun. I'm going to hit her with the stun back. And then I also do not have my ultimate, so I want to make sure that we don't fight here if we don't need to. Ultimate up in 5 seconds though, make that 3, so she decides to go in on us. It could be a pretty advantageous position for us to have. Hopefully he doesn't get hit by that ricochet. Yes, he did. He was indeed not paying attention, and he is single-handedly undoing all of the work that I put in. Now there is a pretty high chance, that the Kali shows up to this. I cannot fight the Kali even with ultimate. My health is just simply too low. She does hit that ability there. I'm going to try to secure the camp, but I'm not going to get close enough to actually fall within Death's range. So I'm just going to sit here and wait to cast my 2 at like the perfect time to steal it, which is now. And nice, we're able to secure our camp, and now we'll take our back. If she were to dive us, that would be cool, and then it would literally come down to who ults first dies. And I'm sure that I can hold off a little bit on ulting. Looks like she's not going to go for that option, however. Alrighty, so her second ability now does scale off of a little bit of intelligence. So does her third ability, because it now does damage. It'll consume stacks of rupture, which will in turn deal damage when you use your third ability. You can gain these stacks of rupture on people by either hitting them with your second ability or just basic attacking them, and then they can have like a total of, I believe, 4 stacks, and then when you use it, they'll take some nice little damage, and then it's pretty similar off of that. And then the ultimate has magical intelligence scaling as well on top of it. So you can build her int. I'm kind of a little bit ambivalent about building her intelligence focus for one reason and one reason only. Yes, I've seen the damage could be pretty impressive when you build her intelligence. However, auto attacks will always scale off of 20% intelligence and 100% strength. So if you want to do damage with your auto attacks, it will always be better to go into an strength focus build. As we look into ganking him, I want to be smart, and I'm waiting for him to dash, but he's really against dashing for some reason. He's going to go for the ult on our Artemis, but we'll be able to kill her just before he's able to kill our Artemis. A nice little kill over on the side of the map, and now maybe a teleport over into the left lane might allow us to get another kill here, 2 kills in quick succession, see if we can get anything done over here. There's also these jungle camps that we can take. But yeah, as things stand in Smite 2, with no exceptions, every single character that wants to focus pretty heavily on auto attack or basic attack damage is going to be building strength, again, just because of the fact that all auto attacks in this game scale off of 100% strength and only 20% intelligence. So sure, if you build intelligence, you can do a lot of damage through your abilities, but you're going to end up sacrificing quite a heavy amount of damage through your auto attacks. So even if I were to be building her full power, I would also be kind of very much focusing on that combo style of play, 3 auto attack, 2 auto attack, 1 auto attack. Throwing in those auto attacks, I think is going to be what allows her to play full damage. And unfortunately, if you're going to be going as we engage onto this Hercules, hit him with a couple of auto attacks, the 2 does end up connecting as well, and we should be able to kill him pretty easily with the help of the Ra. I have to end up interrupting myself a lot because I was just waiting for him to pull up because I really wanted to kill on him. He's like one of the only people that I haven't really killed, so I wanted to kill on him. But yeah, basically you get the point of what I'm trying to say. I feel like even if I wanted to build full damage, I would just go strength focused and throw a Hydra's Lament in there and do like a really heavy combo style of play. But again, I have very limited experience with her in Smite 2. I'm just piggybacking off of the, general Smite experience that I have and like this first game that I have on Kali. But for this one specifically, I'm going to be going in auto attack focus, like kind of on hit style of build, which we will cover pretty in depthly here soon. And then in other videos, I'll cover some of her other build paths. And in the guide, I'll cover all of her build paths pretty in depth after I do a little bit more kind of experimenting throughout today, because I have all day to play Kali. So yeah, anyways, sorry for rambling about the build paths and the different play styles for that long when this isn't really a guide video. I just thought I needed to lay that down. Because I can already hear the comments that are going to say, you should build her crit, it's much better. You should build her intelligence, it's much better. You should just build her full strength, it's much better. Yeah, we can build her many different ways. This is one of the ways you can build her, and let's see how it goes. This is as much as my first impression on this character as it is for you. Now beads down and now jump down on this enemy on her. I do have my speed buff. That slow is going to slow me quite a lot and kind of be pretty hard to catch up to him after that. I'm literally waiting on my second ability cooldown and first ability cooldown. I don't know how he is this fast, and considering that I get knocked up, the best thing he can do is suicide to tower here. That's what I would do if I were him, and that's what he ends up choosing to do. Very smart play. After getting that knockback, there was no way I was catching up to him unless he walked into the jungle and gave me a chance to catch up. Now we're looking at the Hercules. I do a lot of damage. I'm quite fed, so I'm going to continue to fight him. He's even in his empowered state. I don't think he's going to be much of an issue, especially considering I can use my ultimate such as so and get that kill as well. Now I'm not going to completely give up here. I'm going to try to kill her with my dagger into a stun, and then finally a couple more auto attacks or maybe a jump will allow me to kill her as well for that easy double kill. Again, on a character like Holly, especially when you have a lead like I do, I don't think you should ever give up in situations like those. A nice little 3-hit combo into a stun, another 3-hit combo could very easily turn the tide of battle, especially considering your second and third ability now give you some form of healing. You have some options to sustain through bad situations such as those, and that's going to give me my 6th kill of the match. And then a kill on maybe this enemy. It's going to be really risky. I'm probably going to end up dying for it, but you guys know I love living the risky life, so I'm going to probably end up going for it here. Let's jump on him. He actually maybe spotted me. He might die to tick, but just in case, I'm going to have to walk after him, which was probably a mistake. I am faster than him for now, so I should be able to get away unless the enemy collie is here. Super unfortunate. This does give me a couple of seconds to take a breather and talk about some of the stuff that I need to talk about outside of commentary. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to like, comment, and specifically subscribe for daily Smite content. I post gameplay videos like the one you're watching now, obviously character guide videos like the Kali guide that you'll be seeing soon, or the Artemis guide, which is the last guide I've done. Actually, I haven't even posted the Artemis guide. I have it ready to go. You'll see that soon. I think Bari guide might have been my last guide. And just general gameplay guides such as my how to play or complete beginner's Smite 2 guide. So if any of that type of content interests you, then go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Also, I do stream live on Twitch on Thursdays and Fridays, so if you want to watch some live gameplay, follow me on Twitch. It's a bit of a different experience, really focusing on kind of what's happening in the game right now and just live kind of play-by-play commentary, which is kind of fun. And finally, join my Discord. If you want to play games with me, chat with me, have any questions for me, need help with builds or anything in the game, that's the perfect place to do so. Not just from me, but from our wonderful community. So if you just need some friendly, non-toxic Smite 2 players, you can go ahead and click that link down in the description. I'm done with the self-promote. You guys know I have to do a little 40-minute self-promote or 40-second self-promote every game. It wasn't that painful, and we can continue talking about the match. I'm going to start talking about the build here. I started off with dagger, Bumba's dagger. That's the choice. If you're going auto attack, you go Bumba's dagger. If you're maybe thinking to going like a more, like I mentioned, intelligence focused burst build, or like a full strength burst damage build, then you would go for the other starter, the Bumba's hammer. But considering that we're going for the attack speed, it's always going to be the dagger. Always, always, always. Now we're going to see if we can cut off this enemy Ares and grant ourselves another kill, or grant our team another kill. And now with him dead, there's really nothing stopping us from killing the mid laner if he decides to step up. That of which he's actually pretty far stepped up considering his situation. I'm going to kind of stay in this grass. If he steps up just a little bit too far for my liking, I'll be able to pounce on him pretty easily. So just waiting to see if I can get that opportunity. But now with the enemy Kali here, I need to make sure that she's not able to easily flank after our Agni. It doesn't look like she's trying to, so I can go back to the subject at hand. Actually, she did go on the Agni. If she goes on the Agni, I'm going to be able to flank pretty efficiently here behind them when they're not expecting it, kill him, and then I should be pretty easily be able to kill her as well. I did end up using my ultimate here, and another double kill for me using the Sunder to kill the Poseidon pretty easily. And now 9 kills in on the Kali, and it's only getting started, ladies and gentlemen. I do jump his chain here, and he can't do anything after that. Actually, if he keeps chasing me, we might be able to kill him too. Anyways, Dagger Frenzy, just a very powerful early game item. I'm trying to stomp and get a lead in the early game, and one thing that I have noticed, I don't know if it's just me, this character is doing a lot of damage. Usually in Smite 1, if you pick Kali, you knew you were picking her for the late game, it would take you like 3 items to get online. But now, I mean, from the very get-go, I was doing such an immense amount of damage to the enemy team. It's kind of insane. So Dagger of Frenzy is going to allow me to really bully them, and kind of led to me being able, I had a lead from the beginning, but it like allows me to exacerbate my lead, if you will. So very powerful early game item. If you hit the stun on them, you're basically going to be able to guarantee all 5 auto attacks that would result from using this item's active. So it's just a lot of early game auto attack damage. After that, Braggy's Harp. I think Braggy's Harp works really well with her because this is a hybrid item offering both strength and int. And obviously this character uses both of them pretty well. So I think it's very powerful to go this item, on top of it giving you just some, you know, on hit extra damage on your auto attacks, which is always nice. Now this new item that I always forget what it's called. I probably won't remember here if I'm being honest. I'm trying to remember. It's not Signet. That's the other one. It's Tierfring, something like that. Tierfring or Tearing, something like that. This item is much of the same thing. It's just going to give you that auto attack bonus damage, and all three of these items used together just leads to an immense, and I underline again, immense amount of damage in the early game. And now that I have all three online, I'm sure I'll be able to showcase that pretty easily by stunning him, using a couple of auto attacks, and then easily putting him in the ground. Granted, he wasn't full health, but I literally hit him with a couple auto attacks and he was able to die pretty easily. I don't think that there's anyone on this map that could currently fight me with these three items. Very powerful. And again, lifesteal is something that this character has just built into her kit with her second and third ability, as well as her passive. Now we're going to end up diving him. I do have my ultimate if need be, so I'm not too scared of anything right here. Still have it up to this day. Once her ultimate is ready, I'll be able to turn around and auto attack her a couple of times to grab the kill on her too. And I don't really want to give up on this Ares, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the tower and attempt to hit him with one last auto attack. Actually, third ability will grant me yet another double kill this game with this build. And I think that that was a perfect showcase of just how much damage these three items put together can do in the early game. And once you gain a lead and you have these three items, it's going to be really hard for the enemy to kind of put up with it. If he runs right into me, he's going to have much of the same issue here. That's a good jump, I guess, if he didn't want to, continue living. I'm going to be able to dodge this last shot. His Aegis is down, his jump is down, his ultimate is down. Now we just need to catch up to him, and it will be an easy kill. There it is. Jump will end up putting him in the grave for our 13th kill of the match. And now I've ran into this enemy mid laner, and again, just spamming auto attacks will allow me to pick up that kill because this build is insane. Also, I'm really far ahead, all things considered, but I would like to imagine that this build did lead to that, at least in some regard. I'm going to decide to fight her, but I am really low with no ult, so this could be like the biggest mistake of my life. She did end up jumping me. I'm going to end up doing the same to her, and unfortunately I just didn't have enough health and resources to fight that one. Probably shouldn't have done that because she did get a lot of shutdown gold, and I don't really feel like contributing to our ultimate demise. After that, Kinsblade is going to allow me to help, or rather allow me to deal with some of the tankier characters, such as this Ares, such as this Hercules. Not saying that they're too big of a problem, but later on in the game, if they try to like stop me from killing or just try to like run at me, I need to be able to deal with them. And it's around this time of the match, 17 minutes in, where we're going to start grouping up around Gold Furies, Fire Giants, Pyromancers, these big team fights where I'm not most likely going to run into them. It's not a question of what or if, it's a question of when are they going to decide to just face check me. And I'm going to need to have some options in dealing with them. So starting off, Kinsblade is my first choice. And obviously it's also going to give me some more attack speed. I'm going pretty heavily on attack speed with this build because I have, 3 on hit effect items. When I hit an auto attack, this thing happens, whether it be bonus damage based on my power or whatever. So if I have higher attack speed, I'm constantly proccing these on hit effects. So I want items that give me attack speed, such as Kinsblade. Not to mention Kinsblade also is an on hit item, dealing damage based on the enemy's health bar. So that's also going to be very helpful. After this, I'm looking at an Executioner. Executioner is going to help me deal with the tankier enemies' high protections, as well as the squishier characters to some extent. And it's also going to give me attack speed, like I mentioned. So already with our first 3 items, we're able to one-shot some of the squishier characters. Now moving forward with our next 2 items, we're going to be able to counter the tankier characters' immense health bars, as well as their high protections, for just a deadly combo that allows me to deal with the squishier and the tankier characters alike. So yeah, 14-3 on the Kali. Super excited to finally have her in the game. Now we just need Chang'e. We need Chang'e, we need Persephone, we need Nox. There's so many characters that I want, and I guess all in due time. And I'm also super excited. We're getting close to like the Smite 2 original character that is in Smite 1. So I know they're going to cook with those. They always do. Hecate and Bari still being like my favorite characters in the game. Not so much Mordred, and I really do love Aladdin. I'm going to go ahead and engage on him, but again, pushing me back like that is actually really powerful. I might have to end up using the ult here, but I'm going to attempt to dodge a couple of his attacks first and hold off on the ultimate. I'll take this wind sprite to gain some damage. I have every intention of going back on him. I just need him to jump. After the jump is down, I can cast the ultimate to be immune. Stun him. A couple of auto attacks will lead to his death. and then I'm able to easily teleport over back to the solo lane. I want to clear this, but I do think that there's a chance that they'll just teleport on me. There it is. They're teleporting. So I'm just going to stand in this grass. I think the last thing that they would imagine would be me being in this grass. I would have already booked it if I was a smart person. So they probably assume me to be a smart person. But if anyone decides to face check this grass, I think my stun gives me enough time to just one-shot them and then run away. Now, one thing that I've completely neglected to do is like manage my target. I think I'm far enough ahead that I don't even have to worry about who my target is, and I can just go on with whoever I want. Now, I did end up running into, or I saw the auto attack kind of effects of the on her, and I do want to kill him. I thought he was going to come for his camp, which is why I walked this way, but there he is. I wonder if he saw me. Even if I can't catch up to him, I'm going to come up behind him, and that could be pretty detrimental for their team. The first person I'm going to run into is this enemy Poseidon, but I am going to have to instantly run away because I'm literally getting comboed by their entire team. I can juke this all day, but can I juke the subsequent auto attacks? Yes, I can, but then I decided to stay and do some like negligible damage to him and got myself killed. Super unfortunate. I guess I'll take this time to quickly talk about the build paths, which I already did. You can build critical strike chance on her with items like Executioner, Dominance, and Musashi's Dual Blades, all being like excellent choices. I don't know if I would quite go the Rage on her, but all of those are good options. They would be a similar build to this one, except for it could pretty easily be countered by some of the tanks. And if you focus so heavily, I want to be able to deal with both of them this match, so this is a little bit of a better option for that. Because if you have to tie up 3 of your item slots for penetration, then you're like lacking early game damage, you're lacking anti-tank, those things. Again, you can go full strength and go kind of like a combo style of build with maybe a Hydra's Lament built in. That could be pretty powerful. I definitely want to try it out. Somewhat like my Nemesis build, if you guys have seen my recent like Nemesis video. I think that could be pretty cool. The intelligence intelligence path, from what I hear, is really strong, but again, I don't like the fact that I have to sacrifice auto attack damage to deal high burst damage only with 2 abilities. Again, keep in mind, this character, her second ability and her third ability scale using intelligence, and it's not a lot. It's under 40% for both of them. And I just don't know. I guess it's playing off of the new passive with, if you can get 4 stacks on someone, then I guess the third ability could do an immense amount of damage. But also, do I really want to rely on just one ability to be the full source of my damage? I don't know. I'll try it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, I'm going to try out all of her builds at the end of the day for the guide. I'm going to be playing all of the different build paths. I don't know if I'll post all of them because I can't just sit here and post like 5 Kali videos. But I'll definitely be playing them for the guide and then let you guys know my thoughts there. I should be able to clear this pretty efficiently. Now, the reason I might want this is because I think that I should be able to pretty easily take down a Phoenix with my ultimate, and also given once I actually have some penetration under my belt. Also, we're far enough ahead towards where my team could like very literally just win any team fight without me being there. So I don't really have to be there to kind of spectate. One thing that they also mentioned in a Titan talk is that Kali is one of the people that they're looking into making like into like a full ranged hunter character. I'm really excited for that. She's gonna go ahead and jump on me. I'm gonna stun her, pop all of my relics. Because she popped her ult before I did, I instantly win this fight. Granted, if she didn't, she would have died. But that's kind of how it goes with the Kali mirror matchup. The first person to pop their ult usually loses. It's kind of the same thing with Medusa, because if you like Medusa ult and then they Medusa ult after, then they immune your ult and then you get stunned, or you turn around to not get stunned and then you obviously don't hit your ultimate. This bomb is going to end up coming in pretty handy when it comes to taking out this mid lane Phoenix, and team is already pushing right. To be honest, we could easily end here, but I kind of don't want this game to be over because I want to go full build and just see the full extent of what this character can do. Although I think that not only me, but also you guys kind of get the general idea. This is very much a character that just auto attacks if you build this way. Like, more than any other character in this game, this is an auto attack melee assassin if you build her this way, and you're just gonna be walking at people auto attacking. Weirdly enough, I don't think that you need haste and Fatalis on this character. I think that would be a waste. I think that with the items that we have access to in this game, such as the Dagger Frenzy, such as the just all of the on hit items, I don't think that you need to hit many autos to kill someone. I think you've noticed that the stun is oftentimes going to be enough, coupled with, you know, the mobility that she has, to just kill someone straight up without having to actually chase them down to the ends of the earth like you had to in Smite 1. Sorry, my hand was off my keyboard. But yeah, just very interesting. I know I spent a lot of time rambling about random stuff, but there's so much to learn. For me, someone who played a lot of Kali and Smite 1, someone who plays a lot of the game in general, there's like a billion things I want to try out, and I'm kind of just thinking out loud about all of the different items that you can throw in, or things that you had to have in Smite 1 that you don't have to have now. As for my last item specifically in this match, because I'm not having any trouble against the tankier characters, they're kind of a little bit useless. I can afford to go into the Odysseus bow and just get a lot more kind of attack speed, max out my attack speed, so I can kind of, you know, do more on hit effects. You can see all of the numbers that pop up when I decide to auto attack. But yeah, all the yellow numbies build. But yeah, this video should be close to being over. I mean, look at the gold disparity, it's insane. We can probably, I mean, getting this fire giant would be the smart thing, but we could probably end without it, especially if this idiot is found by himself in front of our entire team. With his jump down, I'm going to be able to miss the stun, but also just start wailing auto attacks on him. I'm not going to be able to kill him just yet. I did use my ultimate early because I saw 4 people go on me and I kind of panicked. Group is going to save me from that, and I'm going to go in and easily be able to kill this enemy support. And now the next target is going to be this Entour, who after my support pop stampede will be an easy kill as well. And finally, it's going to be this Hercules, the only thing standing between us winning the game, or us and their Titan, I guess, and I'll be able to pick up that kill and finish off this game. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, all of my socials, to include the Discord server, are down in the description, the Twitch. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm not able to out damage the fountain. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.